They may not be unusual in ranked, but they're unusual in the way they function, which makes them either hard to use or just making them totally hard to fit in a ranking. Today, we're going to talk about unusual weapons. At number 10, we have the AS Val with the FMJ Semi-Auto Mag, which totally fits in this list. We had it on our basic top 10 list originally, but ultimately decided to remove it for a few reasons. The AS Val FMJ is basically an SKS with PDW strafe, among a few other things. It has 44 meters of 2-shot kill if you're able to land one shot in the chest, upper arms, or stomach. You can get a 1-shot kill up to 38 meters if you hit the head. It has 4.2 meters per second of strafe, which is close to what we have with a Switchblade X9. But I gotta say, it has two problems. One, strafe that fast with a semi-auto weapon is gonna be really counterintuitive at first. You're gonna have to time your counter strafe with the moment where you shoot to not miss all your shots. The second problem, it's the fire rate. With the SKS, it has a minimum fire interval of 165 milliseconds. This means you can't click faster than that, and you can't expect it to fire immediately. On the other hand, the AS Val FMJ has a slightly slower fire interval of 188 milliseconds. That difference is just enough for me to sometimes click before the full 188 milliseconds is up, resulting in a wasted click because the gun isn't ready to fire yet. Honestly, it's not a weapon we're really comfortable with, but we gotta admit that an aggro SKS is quite appealing. Here's the Gunsmith for it. At the 9th spot, we have the Kilo Bolt Action, also nicknamed as the KBA or CAR. It's not that weird, I know, but I wanted to highlight it because of the buffs it got this season. It received 2 buffs, one to the fire rate, making it even faster than before and extending its advantage over the MK2 carbine and the SPR-208 even with the SPR-208 magazine. The other buff addressed flinch, reducing it by 30%. This again helps balance it with the MK2 and the SPR. Here's the breakdown of the KBA strengths. Second fastest ADS time among marksman rifles, best damage consistency over range, fastest fire rate among marksman rifles comparable to the Tundra sniper rifle, and fastest reload speed among marksman rifles. If you enjoy aggressive sniping, give the KBA a try. You might be surprised. Here's the Gunsmith we use for it. At number 8, we have a weapon that you'd have never expected to see in a video except if it wasn't for the joke, the PKM. And I'm being serious. Yes, it takes more than half a second to aim in. Yes, its movement speed is slower than snipers. Yes, it takes more than 5 seconds to reload, but its bullet impact is 1.5, and for LMGs, there is no bullet impact drop. It also has 200 bullets, and it can 3-tap up to 45 meters, and has an infinite 4-shot kill range. Since it's an LMG, it has some LMG type characteristics, namely no recoil, a fairly low flinch, and the BSA is fine no matter the range. And if you thought that the MG42, the Prime Holger, or the Prime Chopper was great for LMG playstyle, well, you've never encountered a good PKM player. It's honestly insane for an anchor playstyle and might not suit your playstyle at all, but here's the Gunsmith for it. At the 7th spot, we have the second sniper of the list, which is a shotgun and it's none other than the Argus. If we compare it to marksman rifles, because it kinda is one, well, its ADS speed is 100 milliseconds faster than the KBA. Its fire interval too, and it has 15 bullets instead of 5 on the KBA. It reloads even faster, has half the flinch, and has shotgun aim assist. And if you want, you can even throw a red dot on it. So you might be wondering, what's the problem with it? Well, a shotgun will always be a shotgun, and it shoots pellets which spread just like any other shotgun. And even though the spreading is quite compact, if you're not perfectly centered past the 35 to 40 meter mark, the one shot isn't guaranteed. Another problem is also that the developers gave the Argus what we believe is the worst hipfire spread in the game, so unless your barrel is directly in the enemy's heart, you'll need to ADS. Fun fact, it's one of the most used weapons in the PC controller top 5000 player base. Here's the Gunsmith for it. At the number 6 spot, we have the Man of War with the Thermite mag. It has an infinite 2-shot kill range, which is 120 milliseconds for 2 consecutive shots, and then 380 milliseconds of waiting. If the enemies are using Flak Jacket, it's a 3-shot kill, and if they're using Dauntless, then it's a 5-shot kill. Also, if the enemy gets a kill and has quick fix, you might need to land an extra shot. If he uses a stim shot, the same thing. The Man of War Thermite is also crazy when destroying score streaks, and I'm not even kidding when I say that it's possible to destroy a stealth chopper in less than 1 magazine, which only contains 15 bullets by the way. Apart from that, all the other stats are pretty much the same as the Man of War. Even if you don't want to use it, I highly recommend you to at least have one loadout with it to destroy annoying score streaks. Here's the Gunsmith for it. At number 5, we have the ASM-10 with the Branson barrel. Here's a graphic Z made 7 months ago, but the graphic is still valid for what we need. For the damage over range table, you can see how many shots you need to get the kill. And with the table on the right, you can calculate the time to kill it would give you if you didn't have the Branson barrel. So for a 3-shot kill, that's 220 milliseconds. Now with the Branson barrel, the fire interval is shorter between the first and second and third shot by approximately 44.4 milliseconds. So if you hit the first 3 shots, you get a kill in 133 milliseconds. And that is the fastest non-headshot, non-burst time to kill in the game. So even if it's quite complicated to pull off, the reward is just insane. Here's the Gunsmith for it. Moving on to number 4, we had something that was a joke for well over 3 years. Then it got a slight buff and it was decent. And now, the Chicom is just good. No joke. It has 14 meters of 1 burst as long as you hit above the legs once. It then has 13 meters of 2 burst kills, which is honestly decent. It doesn't have any recoil, obviously. The BSA wouldn't be an issue because it's a burst weapon, but it's decent anyway. The mag size is huge with 51 bullets, which allows you to shoot 17 bursts. The strafe speed is good and the hipfire is quite insane. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say that it's the best classic burst weapon we have right now. Here's the Gunsmith for the Chicom. At the third spot, we have the R90, the most used shotgun in competitive. It has the ability to one-shot at close range and two-shot up to about 20 meters. We never talk about it in the top 10, but it is honestly the best weapon for close quarter fight and for aggressive close range gameplay, especially on Summit for example. If you never used it, remember to always ADS and shoot the 2 shots, except if your barrel is directly in the eye of the enemy. Here's the Gunsmith for the R90. If you don't want to have a visible laser, just throw in a 1MW laser, it'll do the job. At the second place of the podium, we have the CX9 with the 9mm hollow point mag. Well, it's a bit better than the Chicom. 26 meters of 1 burst with 1 shot above the leg, and then an infinite range of 2 bursts if you're able to hit above the legs twice. The 1 burst time to kill is absurdly fast with 116 milliseconds, which is the fastest non-headshot time to kill in the game. It has crazy good mobility, and if it wasn't for the 12 round mag, which only allows you to fire 4 bursts, it would be the best weapon in the game we've ever had. Here's the Gunsmith for it. You can change the perk for a red dot or a grip for the recoil, but sleight of hand allows you to reload within a second, which is quite good if you need to reload every 9/10 of a second. At number 1, we got the Oden. We didn't want to include it in the basic top 10 video because even if it's a great weapon, it's not accessible. To get a 2-shot in the first range, you need 2 arm shot or 1 chest shot or 1 headshot. And in the second range, you need 1 headshot or 1 chest shot followed by an arm shot, which is not consistent. To add to that, the mobility is slow and the fire rate is the slowest we have for full auto, making it incredibly punishing if you miss once. But if you get that 2-shot kill, it's a 145 millisecond time to kill. And if you're not getting that 2-shot kill, you'll get a 290 millisecond time to kill no matter the range and the body part. That makes it the greatest 3-shot kill weapon we have in the game, and that's exactly why it's number 1. Here's the Gunsmith build for the Oden. If you want to take advantage of the Oden or the PKM, here's a skill you have to learn.